Good afternoon and welcome to Blind Builds. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I will be teaching you how to transform and assemble your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2, the Thunder Tiger Zord. Well, the White Tiger Zord from the Thunder Zords. There were so many names back then. So, if you like what you see here and you want to help me raise awareness to the blind, please go below and like and share. The likes really help. I've been studying up on the YouTubes and learning that the likes actually do help out a lot, and it's surprising how much they help out. And I'm like, oh, I thought the comments helped out more. Nope, it was the likes. Man, YouTube algorithms are weird. The more I learn about them, the more I'm realizing I don't know anything about them. So, yay, education. I mean, but that's what this entire thing's about, education. It's just educating you on something fun. So let's get back to the fun education system. So here we go with the White Tiger Zord. And of course, in Blind Builds, what I teach you is how to disassemble and reassemble things. And this one's going to be a Blind Formers, Blind Builds kind of crossover, like last week's was, because, you know, I'm going to teach you how to transform this, and then I'm going to teach you how to combine him with the Thunder Zords. So I have talked enough, and let's get into it. First off, what you want to do with your White Tiger Zord is remove his tail, aka his sword. Once you remove that, these parts get a little easier. So after you remove the sword, you want to then grab his big old backside, and you're going to want to rip it apart. And not literally rip it apart, but you want to grab each of his leg areas, where, you know, just above where his little tiger feet come into play. And you're going to separate them. And this is a difficult separation. These connections are always been sound. And once you've disconnected both of those legs from the hips and pulled them downwards, because they're on a bar hinge that allows them to flow from the top of the hip to the bottom of where the knee should be. There is no knee articulation in this guy. They didn't like us. They didn't want us to have it. So let's get right into this. Gotta stop seeing with it. There we go. So what you do with the back feet is, all you're gonna do is fold the back leg for the Tiger Zord all the way on its little hinge, and then you're gonna collapse the foot down. Now that's going to make a nice flat platform for leg, and then you're just gonna push it forwards, and it works. But it doesn't always work. So to rephrase that, so it will go from a position of facing downwards with the little foot. You're going to fold the foot in. You're going to rotate it on its axis until it goes all the way the other way. And then, so what is that? A transition of like 125 degrees, maybe 130 degrees to the next side. And then you push it. And when you push it, you're going down a slide. And after you've pushed it all the way down the slide till this end of it bumps out where the other side of the foot used to be. And you'll have a nice flat toe in bottom of the foot area. And of course, make sure that these pants are both snapped into place properly, and we can spin him around, and we can stand him up on his new toes. Look at that. Look at that. But of course, because of the way everything works, he is still messed up. So now we've got to take his upper body, grab his upper body in one hand while holding onto his lower body in the other, to, you know, help stabilize everything. And then you're just going to ratchet it forwards, like you would a transformer. And once it ratchets forwards all the way, it will snap down into the position that it likes. And after that, just rotate the arms down to the sides and fold the giant claw up so that it becomes part of the side of the arm, and rotate both of the arms. And then, finally, go over here to the back of the head, you know, the tiger head, feel across the top of it, past the two buttons, and then bring the head of the robot up all the way and lock it into position. And finally, we bring out the Kiba sword, and here we go. Yay, swords. There we go. Now, it's, of course, a scimitar. Everybody likes scimitars. Well, a lot of people like scimitars. I like scimitars. I think the scimitar's kind of cool. So there is your White Tiger Zord in all of his robotic glory. Of course, we've talked about his articulation. Look at him. Look at him slash that sword. Slash, 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 slash. Okay. Oh, He lost the sword at some point during the slashing. You are such an aggressive slasher, you lost your sword. All right, now we're going to set him off over here to the side, and we're going to prepare our Thunder Zords so that we can move into the next step. So you want to grab your Black Lion. You're going to want to rip your Black Lion apart the same way we did before. Just pull off the bottom legs, and then the helmet is not going to be necessary for this. So you can set the helmet off to the side and just leave it on the chariot tray to be handled later. So there is the Black Zord, all disassembled. There are the pieces. We disassembled him and talked about the pieces last week. So if you want to know how to do that, then please tune into my Blindformers episode I did on those very objects. And I'm not explaining it this time because we are trying to just, keep this timestamp at a reasonable timestamp. We're just getting it all set up so that we can get this guy assembled. Oh yeah, I think we got all the pieces. Now the pink Zord, the pink Firebird, does fit on the White Tiger Zord if I had the feet. Dragon lost the feet, or Dragon can't find the feet. So yeah, they're missing. The feet are missing for the pink Firebird. And that means that it can't sit on the wrist of the White Tiger Zord, which is kind of sad. Okay, so now that we've got all the pieces assembled and sitting out, let's move back over here to White Tiger Zord. Raise your arms up in the air just a bit, dude. Cool. Now, before we begin, you want to grab both of the arms of him and you want to pull apart. This will actually stretch the core of the robot out a bit and review some, we'll showcase some stickers that weren't there before. But yeah, you're basically making the guy wider at the top, and this will allow his wideness at the top to match his wideness at the bottom. And so we're going to raise both of these up, and now we're going to come down here to the legs. Now remember how I explained how to transform the legs? The feet? Well, we're going to do the feet in reverse just a bit. We're not going to go all the way. So you want to push on the toe and cause the foot to fold backwards, but that's it. You want to make sure that the foot sits at a nice straight line, directly adhering to the pole-like thing that's above it, is the legs. So you want to make sure that the feet are pointed straight down. We're just doing this one too. Push on the front toe, and then move it down its track until it's face down. Now, pick both of these legs up. Oh, before we can make these legs go back to what they were in the White Tiger, we've got to pick up the main section of the White Tiger Zord by one click. That's all. It's ratcheted down too far. So to make sure we have room, we need to ratchet it up one click. And now this can fit in there, and then this can come over. This leg can go up and fit down like we were making it back into its tiger mode, but we're not making it into tiger mode. Now that that's done, we can then come over here, make sure that the yellow and the blue are in their correct positions. Like I said before, you can easily tell the interior is always thinner than the exterior. So this little slot that the legs will fit into, one side will be thinner than the other side, and that will tell you exactly which way to plug them in. Make sure that the thin sides are always facing one another. And he is kind of unique, so we're going to be careful with this. Where with the red Dragon Zord, what you would do is you just fold this panel at the leg area forwards. When you put the red Tiger Zord in, this panel would fold back and lock into place. It's not the case here. This has got to get threaded. Yeah, we're threading it now. So you got to feel here with your finger, find that area. Nice, smooth, straight up and down. And there's some little bits off to the sides that are actually locked into place. So when we come down, just use your fingers to make sure that that plastic piece that covered the upper leg of your red Dragon Zord is actually threaded properly, and it's going to go beneath the outer armor of the upper skirt area for the White Tiger Zord. There we go. And now we're going to do the same with the other side. Now we're just going to make sure that we thread that piece so that it fits underneath the skirt, and it's going to just collapse on down. And if we've done it right, then we have no problems. And that is the correct way to do things. You do them right the first time, you don't have to do them again. That's always nice. That's the lazy way to do it. Do it right the first time so you don't have to do it again. Okay, now that we're done with the feet, we're moving up here to the arms. Remember how we pulled apart the chest area to make it wider? Well, now the arms can actually rotate past the legs and the skirt, but it still kind of clatters on the sides. So to stop any type of degradation of plastic or paint, I advise not doing that, especially since there's a nice chrome thing around this red bauble on the side, and every time this fist hits it, it's just going to be removing pieces of that chrome away, and you don't want that. You want your shiny chrome. So now we're going to find the black Lion Zord pieces, the arm Shogun pieces. Make sure that the studs for them are faced backwards. All the studs and connectors are faced backwards. We want this thing to look pretty. And we're going to just take this bar that sits up here. When we lowered the side of his shoulder pauldron, we left this area where this thing can just rest. But this bar actually has some spring-loaded clasps in it. And we're going to... There it goes. So all you have to do is rest the shoulder pauldron for the black lion on top of the shoulder pauldron for the white tiger and push it forwards. We're going to do the same with the other black lion arm. Set it on top and then just kind of push it forwards. And there we go. It's locked into place. I like how that locks. That's a really neat lock. Like you wouldn't... It's a little bit of a floppy lock, but when you realize that these things aren't supposed to really move much, this locking mechanism makes complete sense. I have to say that I do like it. I do appreciate it. And finally, of course, the final bit that happened in every show. Whoop, boom. And to make sure that y'all see it perfectly well and I didn't screw anything up, we're going to go backwards. Oh, I knocked off a Lego dude. Back, boom. There we go. And here's the White Tiger Megazord. The White Tiger Thunder Megazord? Where's your little kitty sword at? Here's your Kiba sword. Get your Kiba sword in there. Oh yeah, Kiba swording. All right. Well, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed the episode. Please tune in next Prime. We will be talking about something new. I think Monday I'm going to be discussing a Fortnite figure I picked up last month because I found it on sale for a reasonable price, and he's got a cool weightlifting set and things. So that should be fun. Tune in then. I'm going to spend the time until then trying to remember what in the world that figure's called. But he's the big old kitty cat that came with a bench press. And I liked the bench press. I thought it was a cool little accessory. And so I just had to pick up the big old kitty cat when he was on sale. Now, tune in then to talk about the big old kitty cat from Fortnite with me. Until next time.